Good morning, readers. Today, we will be talking about nonfiction text structure. Go ahead and take out your reading learning intention sheet. Fill in the date, which is 11/19. If you know what book you'll be reading today, you can fill it in here. And go ahead and write your learning intention. Today, as a reader, I am working on, and it's determining text structure. Readers, yesterday we talked about the structure of nonfiction expository texts. We're going to do some practice with that today. Turn and talk to your partner about what we learned yesterday. Tell them at least one thing. If you remember, we used this chart, which you have a copy of in your reading binder. Remember that there are 5 kinds of text structure: comparison, cause and effect, problem solution, chronological, and question and answer. Also remember, there were some key phrases that give us hints about what the text structure might be. Today we're going to use all that we learned yesterday about determining text structure to determine the text structure of this article. The title of this article is "Vomiting Isn't Just Gross." I'm going to read the article, and you should follow along with the copy that you have. You may think that vomiting is simply disgusting and gross. You may think it is one of life's most unpleasant, uncomfortable experiences. But did you know that vomiting actually serves an important purpose? Vomiting protects us from harmful poisons called toxins, which can make us very ill. In fact, when someone vomits, it is usually a protective response or reflex. The whole body is working together to push toxins out of our bodies before they cause us more harm. As I read this first section, I started thinking about the text structure chart that we used yesterday. I'd like you to look at your copy and see if you can determine the structure of this first section. Do that now. Readers, as I look at our chart, I notice that the first section of the article fits with question and answer. The question is asked, but did you know that vomiting actually serves an important purpose? And then the next section goes on to explain what that purpose is. Let's read the next section, and let's also keep in mind our text structure chart. The next section is why we vomit. We vomit for many reasons, but most often we vomit because it's our body's way of taking care of us. If we ingest or take into our bodies a substance that is harmful, our bodies don't want us to absorb too much of the poison from it. The substance can be a food, bacteria, or something to which we are allergic. As a result, we expel that substance or get rid of it through vomiting. Another time we might vomit is when we feel seasick or experience what is known as motion sickness. When we feel dizzy and seasick, our bodies actually think it is poison. That is responsible for making us feel so miserable. And once again, our bodies find a way to eliminate that poison from our systems through vomiting. Readers, I'd like you to take a look at the text structure chart and think about the text structure of this second section. Again, even though it is not written as a question, the second section is question and answer. Let's take a peek at the third section. Vomiting is a team effort. Our bodies work together in amazing ways to vomit toxins that might cause us to become very sick. You might think that our stomachs decide when we vomit because that is where we usually experience discomfort. However, it is actually our brains that make sure we eliminate the toxin that has entered our bodies. A part of our brains called the medulla controls functions like breathing and swallowing that we do without even thinking. The medulla also controls vomiting. When the brain believes the body has ingested a toxic substance, it sends a signal for the muscles around the stomach and the muscle below the lungs, called the diaphragm, to start working. These muscles squeeze and contract together to force the contents of our stomach up and out of our bodies. Have you noticed that it feels difficult to breathe when we vomit? This is another way our bodies protect us. Our bodies prevent us from breathing in or inhaling any of the harmful contents coming up and out of our mouths. Readers, again, I want you to take a look at the text structure chart. And I'd like you to determine the text structure of that section. Readers, if you thought that, it was question and answer, you are correct. But I want you to think again, why is it text question and answer, and what question is it answering? Because you'll notice that the title does not ask a question. It says vomiting is a team effort. So what question is this section answering? Turn and talk with your partner now. Readers, let's take a peek at the final section. Prevent vomiting by staying healthy. Except in usual cases, vomiting is a reflex that occurs in our bodies to keep us safe. Even though we all dread that feeling that signals we might need to vomit, remember that our bodies are performing an important function. Vomiting may be gross, but for the most part, it is harmless and actually keeps us healthy. Of course, no one wants to vomit, so you can take preventative actions to avoid it. Be sure to wash your hands regularly to prevent harmful germs or bacteria from entering your body. And if food smells like it might have gone bad, don't eat it. If you do eat it, though, your body will make a great effort to protect you. Readers, by now we have determined that this entire article was written in question and answer format. I'm sure as we were reading this last section, you were able to determine that this one was also in question and answer format. Once again, though, I'd like you to think about what question this last section was answering. Turn and tell your partner now. Readers, today we will continue to determine the structure of our expository text during reading time. You should make sure that you stop and jot about the structure of the book that you are reading. If today is your day for a Chromebook, you will read the article on tsunamis that your teacher will give you, and you will answer questions about the text structure through a survey that's on Google Classroom. So this means that if today is your day to get a Chromebook, that means that your mini lesson is in Mrs. Eichsted's room. You will get the article Tsunami from your teacher. You will read that article, and then you will go to the Chromebook and go to Google Classroom. Once you have logged into Google Classroom, you will find the link that says Tsunami Text Structure Survey. You will click on it, and it will ask you 3 questions about the structure of the article Tsunami. Readers, this is an all-by-yourself activity. That means that you are not talking to anyone about it, and that you are answering the questions all by yourself. Tomorrow, Mrs. Whalen's group will be able to do this quiz or survey on Google Classroom. Let's make it a great day, readers.